And so, like, a question is it the case that, like, he just happened to be the voice? And you can imagine a guy who looks and acts like Marco Rubio or like Trump's running mate, for that matter, you know, smoother, a little more civil, diplomatic, but capable of getting fired up. You can imagine a guy like that carrying the mantle, or any number of other people. Is it just kind of happenstance that we wound up with this guy, or is it the case that almost everything I personally find abhorrent about him, ranging all the way up to making fun of disabled people, is that, in the eyes of some of these people, is that a feature, not a bug? I shouldn't dwell on that in particular. I'd like to think that almost none of these people applaud that per se, but you know what I mean. Is there a lot about this guy that so many Americans just find repulsive that actually makes him well suited to embody the voice of people with this set of grievances?
Yeah, I think very good question. Again, I don't know that I have any particular insight. I'm thinking back to the campaign, the primary campaign season, and how he managed to outmaneuver people. I mean, he comes up with these labels, you know, little Marco, you know, low energy Jeb, and all of this kind of stuff, which might well have sunk somebody for the incivility of it. You know, I'm Mr. Bush or Governor Bush. I'm not low energy Jeb. How dare you speak to me that way? And yet it didn't do. The Megyn Kelly thing comes to mind. Of course, we could just tick off all of these, you know, bizarre things that Trump said and things that he did. And they didn't sink him. And so this reputation for, you know, I could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and my supporters would stick by me. I think it's very important to try to understand what that had been about. I don't think we've got enough distance yet. It's a kind of a historian or long form journalist deep dive kind of problem to try to get a handle on that. But I would speculate that some of it may have been that it appealed to some people's visceral orientations towards some kind of, I don't know what, manly, aggressive, you know, kind of boisterous, you know, whatever. He's supposed to have a lot of money. He's supposed to be this, you know, this figure. I never watched The Apprentice, so I don't know what people are seeing there, but presumably people saw something worth watching there for themselves. But I think another part of it would be whenever he would do this, the, quote, usual suspects, close quote, would start crowing. They'd start saying, oh, my God, what has he done? Oh, my God, how horrible is it? The Washington Post, New York Times, the cable news, MSNBC, whatever. People would come on and they say, oh, he's terrible, he's whatever. And the viewer out there is confronted with, do I join this, condemnation? Or do I pull back? And they chose sides. And they chose against the gray lady. They chose against CBS News.